What? I know the DJ.
Do you?
Welcome to episode 10 of But I Know the DJ, a podcast discussing all things DJing, music, nightlife, business, and pop culture through the unfiltered opinions of host Snacks, a.k.a. Snack Scene Waters, powered by Dope Entertainment and our sponsor, Anchor. While I have your attention, since you just opened the episode up, please take this time to review, to like, to download, to share the episode that you're listening to right now and all other episodes. Please do it, or I won't continue. Okay, I'm assuming you guys just did it, so we're going to keep moving on. And first off, as always, I'd like to shout out our Black-owned business of the week, Black-owned Boss, B-O-S, like Boston. That's Black-owned B-O-S on Instagram. They are a directory and business that promotes and spotlights Black-owned businesses through events and marketing. Currently, they are the minds behind the Holiday Collective at Legacy Place in Dedham, Massachusetts. It is a pop-up shop in the outdoor mall that features products from multiple makers within their holiday gift guide. Support the Holiday Collective this season. Support Black-owned Boss. Follow them. Do whatever you need to do. They're doing really, really amazing things for the community, so check them out. And now we have our special guest today, Boston-raised DJ, producer, entrepreneur, investor, owner, and CEO of record label MMX, VAC, and Base X, owner of management company Gridlock Management, artist, visual designer, brand consultant, and friend. Please, we welcome Scrap. Scrap, welcome, bro.
Yo, what's up, Snacks?
It's so good to see you. It's
Likewise.
been about a year.
A year, yeah.
He's been spending his time in Colombia, where you're from.
Yep.
What's life in Colombia during a pandemic?
It's good. The weather's nice. It's we did the whole lockdown and quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just being at home, I don't really go out much.
Yeah.
So I'm a hermit. I just stay inside my house.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, with all the stuff that we've listed, and like I've seen your work in different mediums. Like you really like when you want to learn something, you learn, and you're the one who's always been in my ear, like, bro, just learn it.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? And you're such a big advocate of like, I feel like when I think of you, it's like if you can't find anyone to do it right, you do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
it's kind
something
of-
I really respect about you. And you do a lot of like all your own like visuals and stuff like that, right?
Everything.
You're just like a one-man show, pretty much.
Yeah, I got tired of depending on other people.
Right. And I definitely know how that is. Like I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
And
I
like
fucking
there's
hate
so many
it.
times where I'm like, I just wish I knew how to do it. And you're just so good at disciplining yourself in more ways than one. Like even with your eating, for example,
Right.
like in working
Vegan,
out,
Yep.
like vegan lifestyle.
Vegan
Like
for like 7 years now.
it's crazy because like I don't know if it's just because I haven't seen you in so long, but like your face, like that like you're just mad thin, like you're like you have like no fat on your body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's hard to really gain weight, which is kind of why I hit the gym so religiously, because I try to like some
Maintain
mass.
size
some
and-
size.
yeah,
So
yeah.
because if not, it keeps you slim. It keeps you in shape for the most part. Keeps
Yeah.
you healthy. So
And because we met maybe like 3 years
I
ago.
think it
now?
was 3 years ago. Yeah. Do you remember how we met?
So from what I remember is you saw me first play.
Yeah, I saw you at the Slacker. No, it wasn't called Slack. Sonex DJ.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you saw me first?
I saw you play there first before we met,
Oh.
and I had
So
gone
was that
there-
Middle East?
the Middle East, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
had gone there to meet Ross,
Oh, and you saw me.
and then I
okay.
saw you,
And then you hit me up.
and then I hit you up, and
Mhm.
then I think I might have asked you how can I like play or something. How can I DJ there or something? I
Something-
might have asked you something. I forgot what it was, and then I ended up getting in contact with Ross, and then I got booked for the show.
Yeah. And it's crazy because when you hit me up, it's funny because like, and I think I told you this. I was like, yo, I know this name, like I know
Yeah.
this
Really?
person, but I didn't know how. Like I was like, I know I never met you because I didn't know your face.
Yeah.
But I
And
was
there's
like-
an
I was
age
like, this
difference,
name.
So there was definitely like,
Yeah. And then it was like months later where we were like cool and like hanging out and like working together. And I was like, I have 50 of this dude's edits.
Really?
Like I
Oh,
had,
like those, like the
your early edit,
like the
your-
twerk ones and stuff.
Yeah,
that made
yeah.
Moses and
I
all
was
that?
like, this is how I fucking know his name because
Yeah.
I've been playing his shit for mad
That's
long.
dope. I didn't know you played it.
Yeah,
Really?
like I just had like I was just going through my library and I was like, And for some reason I had to like pull up like probably like the Bound 2 one or something.
Oh, word. That's the one everyone plays.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
one and,
super
the,
popular.
And the Torquila one. The
Yeah, I have both of them. Like,
Oh,
and
they're such shitty edits, bro.
well,
It sounds so bad, so bad.
It's like just like hearing yourself. Like, I mean, if I hear any of my mixes from like 5 years ago, I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
it's like so bad. But yeah, I think I was just going through like my library and like finding one of those tracks, and I was like, yo, that's how I knew. Like, that was that hunch that I had back when we first started talking. I was
That's
like, I
dope.
know him, and it was just because I had your music already.
Yeah, that's dope.
But at that time, like so I'd only known you as a vegan.
Mhm.
And then you'll post like some crazy throwback picture of before you were a vegan.
Dude, no one told me how, like, I wasn't overweight, but I was like,
You were just a normal, like,
I was like swollen, bro. I think
yeah.
I was pounding alcohol left and right, bro, at these shows. Like, I was eating like shit. I was eating like a DJ.
You're literally eating like me.
I was eating like a DJ in my 20s.
Yeah, literally what I'm going through right now. Like, just pounding alcohol at shows and eating
late
before
night
and
stuff,
after.
yep.
Yeah. So I get it. I mean, yeah. So I like look at those photos and I'm like, yo, this is not scrap. Like how I know you. You know what I'm saying,
bro? It's. I mean, I look back now and I'm like, fuck. Like, how you can swear, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I look back, I'm like, fuck, dude, like who was I? Why didn't anyone tell me that I looked this way? And it wasn't necessarily something bad. I felt like shit. I felt like shit. A lot of friends would tell me like I looked tired all the time because I was in my 20s. I was doing the club circuit. I was DJing 4 nights a week and drinking a lot. And I was like 25, around like 25, and I had like a physical. My doctor said like, hey, like he took a blood test. He's like, yo, you could be like pre-diabetic. Are you good? Like your sugar's high and shit. And I was like, oh. And
were you working out as well though, or you're just?
I was, but that doesn't really change the fact that of like what you're consuming. So I remember I was doing mostly like urban Latin nights. So I was like pounding Hennessy, bro, Hennessy and Coke, Hennessy and Red Bull, and
you're like I'm like, yo, he's talking about me.
Yeah, dude, and I turned, and there's like diabetes in my family. So when I got that scare, I did this like detox for 30 days where I just juiced. And I had really bad like acne and shit. Like my skin, like you just look like when your skin is not, or when your body's not where it needs to be, you look at your skin and that's kind of like a tell-all. Like it's the biggest organ in your body. And if you have like dry skin or eczema, it's because there's something going on inside. Right. So I did this detox for 30 days, all juices, like vegetable juices and fruit juices, and everything went away. Like my skin cleared up. I lost a ton of weight. I had this like mild headache that would always stick around. It was like this like brain fog headache, and that went away. Wow. And then I did that for 30 days. So then when I tried to eat meat again, my body was like, nah.
It was like rejecting it.
Yeah, I felt sick, and then I started doing like eggs and something like light things, and then I just like fuck it. Like I learned how to eat differently too, because me and my girl and I both went. She did this cleanse with me. And then she just started looking up vegan recipes, and we found there's just so many other ways to eat that it was like, all right, we really don't need meat. We found this variety of different potatoes and different shit. Yeah. And it's been up since there, bro. Like, honestly, it was a blessing in disguise, obviously, that going to that visit and being diagnosed that way, because it honestly made my life so much better.
Yeah, and like I said, since I only known you as a vegan, like we would go out, or like I remember one time like we went to like that Mexican spot after like Storyville or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And like
I remember.
I forgot. I think you didn't order, or you ordered something. Yeah, and I was just like, staring at you, and I was just like, yo, like this dude's really about that life. Like,
yeah, it's a lot of it starts off as discipline, and then it just becomes just a way of at this point it still smells good. A piece of steak fucking smells good, and chicken, it all smells good. And I just can't have it because I'll feel sick. Right. And moving to Colombia, I was around family. And,
amazing food in Colombia.
Yeah, and there's a lot of vegan restaurants there, so that helps. I invested in a restaurant there where I get my food from.
Oh shit, that's
so
fire.
Like, I started doing the like social media and help them with sales, and then I get free food.
You like find like the shortcuts of like everything. Like that's what I like notice about you. Like you find a way.
You gotta create your life, bro.
Yeah. Like you learned all these things and use them in different avenues that like come back to you, whether it be monetarily or like now I get this is how I get my food. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and my girl tells me all the time, like I like finagle my way into situations where we pulled up to this restaurant. honestly has the best vegan food in Medellin. We tried it all. When
Shout
we
out.
moved
What's the social? What's the?
It's called El Árbol de la Vida.
Oh, that's a dope name.
And the lady, she's like she cooks so good, bro. It's like homemade vegan food. We started going. She didn't have social media presence. She didn't do deliveries. It was really like family, small oriented. And I was like, hey, like I'll manage your Instagram. Like, let me help you. Blah blah blah. 6 months later, her sales increased. Like she was killing it, and that was like a year before COVID happened. So we worked with her for a year, and then once COVID happened, she's an older lady, so she was like, yo, you know what? Like I kind of want to just close up shop. Yeah. And then I think she's been closed since, and I don't think she wants to retire. So I think she's gonna give it off to her kid. I haven't really spoken to her, but we were able to help her.
That's awesome.
Develop and stuff. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Like you're fit as fuck, bro. Like like it's crazy, and I know because Gabe, my roommate, he's been getting it, like he's like since COVID he's used it to really clean his body out, and he's you know, he works from home, so he's able to really like micromanage his eating, you know what I mean? And he's lost like 20 pounds since COVID. And
but Gabe was always skinny, isn't it?
The thing is, he was like always like a slender dude, like with like our friendship, like I was like the short and fat one, and he was like the tall and skinny one. Yeah. But like he was still like flat, like, you know, he was hanging out with me all the time. Like he was like a little flabby and stuff, but like now he's like ripped, like super lean, like, and he's very on top of it now.
You really don't have to go vegan. I think you can. There's just a lot of things that people don't eat, aren't aware of, as far as like how you should get nutrition into your body. Like the American diet's very unhealthy.
Right, absolutely.
So
there are little things I try and tweak. And you know me, like I'm a big like just exercise dude. Like I have fun exercising.
Yeah, dude. I can never. I'm probably I can't run as much as you can at all. Like I don't do cardio at all.
Me and Francis were talking about this.
Yeah,
because she's a so shout out Francis, our shooter, official shooter. But I know the DJ podcast. Check out our Instagram. She's been hitting all the fire photos. Also a runner. Follow her at Franny Pack. But how many miles?
Oh, Franny Pack. I've heard.
See, the people know. The people know. How many miles a week do you run? 35 to 40 miles. And she's a beast, bro. Like
that's crazy.
And just eats those miles, bro. Like and it's crazy. And we talk about this a lot. Like, you know, being like objectively like not running looking people. But it's like I said exactly what you said like the other week to her. I was like, yeah, but there's probably like a dude who's skinny that won't be able to outrun you, because like that's just like an endurance.
Yeah, it's like stamina.
It's stamina. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And mental too. I cannot run 40 miles in a week. I can't do it.
That's a lot.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd probably take a lot to get up to that point.
Yeah. And she's ran a marathon. 1 marathon? 2 marathons? Oh yeah, I was at both of them. New York and Chicago, right?
That's nice. That's dope.
So shout out Francis. Follow her on Instagram at Franny Pack if you need some photo business, that content life. Her photos are fire. Check out our Instagram for proof. But anyway, yeah, it's fire. I mean, and did Gridlock come out of COVID, or that was before COVID? No,
that was before COVID.
Yeah, and so you manage. You went. You know, you did the DJing. You yourself as an artist, and now you're currently managing building artists, correct?
Yeah. So I did the DJ thing. I kind of got bored of it locally. I feel like I got to a point where
you hit the ceiling.
Yeah, you kind of plateau in the city, and when I did feel like I was plateauing, that's when I was making edits, right? So that's when I tell you, like, start making edits. Once you start making edits, then you figure out how to make a full song, and then I started doing originals. And when I started making edits, they were more, you know, electronic based, and then I was like, all right, cool. So how can I like play tours and get out of the state and do other things? And then I started kind of making my own music, and then one thing led to another. SoundCloud was really organic at that time, and I had songs hit 100,000 plays in fucking a month organically. And then, you know, booking agents start hitting you up. This was like, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dope, I'm ready. I was like, I dove into that lifestyle, that industry, and did that, played the tours, fucking toured a lot, and like just, you know, was exposed to that beast that is touring.
Was it all national, or was it international as well?
No, it was mostly national. When I was doing more local stuff, I did play like international. I played in the Bahamas and some cruises and stuff.
That's fire.
Boy, when I did like when I was doing bass music, it was all national. But I was, you know, I did a bus tour. That was really dope. It was a college tour with College Weekly. And then I booked my own debut tour where I played like 20 something shows, and you know, I got to travel, got to kind of get the ins and outs of the industry, learned a lot. And then 3 years ago, I decided to, I was like, yo, I felt like suffocated in Boston. I don't know, I was getting bored. And then from one moment to another, I told my girl, I was like, yo, listen, like, I want to move. I was like, I work from home, so I make my money off of music. So, let's go somewhere else. And we had gone to Medellin the year, like a few months before. And I was like, let's just go. And we like dropped everything that month. Our lease was up and we lived in Revere, and we were like, let's go. We sold our shit and just fucking left. And we've been there for 3 years. And
yeah, it was crazy. Like soon after we met, and we were like hanging out and like doing shows. We were even doing shows together.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, like we were doing like duo shit. Like we were DJing together, and then like you're like, yeah, I'm out, and I was like, I was like, yo, we've been chilling for like 6 months. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. It was. I needed. Like I was doing the vegan stuff, but I felt like I needed a break from DJing, and it was a weird thing to do for me because since I can remember, maybe 7, 8 years old, I remember wanting to be a DJ so bad. So it was something that I chased for like ever. It felt like forever, and I really wanted to get like my mind right. Like I was drinking a lot, right? So right before I stopped DJing around like let's say 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. 25, 20, when I was 25, 26, I realized that like there was something else wrong. I needed more, and I needed to clear my head, and I stopped liking to DJ. Like I stopped enjoying it. I went out there, did some like psychedelic drugs and shit. I did fucking ayahuasca. I had really bad anxiety. I have still really bad anxiety. And and I think that's why I was drinking so much in the past.
Right.
So I just needed a break, bro. Like after you chase something for so long, and then you get to it, and then you're like, okay, what else?
Yeah.
Like, what else am I supposed to do? And then that's when I started developing the label. I created a label as that piggybacked off of my DJing producing.
Right. Because then you're just distributing your own stuff. Right?
Yeah, I was, and it kind of became like independent. Like this city taught me that there's a lot of gatekeepers, and there's a lot of people that don't let you get to a certain point. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do everything myself. Even just when I first started producing, I would send out demos to labels to get them signed, and no one would answer because I was a smaller artist. I was like, all right, cool. So how the fuck do I start my own label? And then luckily I had played a show in LA. I met the son of someone who one of the biggest distribution companies. He gave me an account, started my own distribution company.
Wow.
Started my own label. And then, as I was distributing my own music and putting my music out, I was helping other guys that were in the same predicament, other artists. And I started this artist collective called MMXVAC, which MMXV is 2015 and AC is Artist Collective. So it was just a group of us guys just supporting each other. And then I was like, yo, I'm just going to start. Like, you guys are having the same trouble I am. I'm just going to start distributing music. And I started putting them on platforms. Developed that into a business. I think we have a catalog of over like 400 songs now. And then through that, did that for a few years, started touring. And then as of like a year, like 2 years ago, we started Gridlock, me and a homie of mine. Because I had learned all this industry knowledge of behind the scenes. I had a manager that was out of New York. He did all these great things for me. And I was like, yo, I can do these things for other artists. Right. And I'm very like entrepreneurial. So if I can build a business and own it instead of having to rely on someone else, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
And now we have like 15 artists.
And thing is, like, I know a few of them, like, cause like AG is local,
Oh yeah, AG, yeah, Andrew, yeah.
And like they're sick, like these are like artists.
He was the first quote unquote guy that we signed. He was the first guy that, cause he was local. I was like, yo, let's.
Yo, AG's fire. Like he's another dude that like, cause he does his own visuals as well, right?
Yeah,
like he's
so nasty.
Yeah, he just like he'll post shit, and I'm like, yo, like this is insane. Yeah. And yeah, he's another dude that like I respect a lot because I know he just focuses and like wants to be great, and he's so talented, you know what I mean? He's another dude I respect a lot. So I know that you guys were like, I know you've at least collabed before.
Yeah, we released
stuff. So what was that conversation like being like?
Like a lot of conversations in that world, you gain a lot of like quote unquote clout because based off of numbers of like if you know that. I mean, I got to a point where I was like the biggest bass music artists in Boston.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then
sure.
you know, just Facebook, like you friend requests, and then yo, what's up, bro? You want to collab? Sure, let's collab. And then we just send each other stems, finish the song, and then started hanging out and worked on more music. And I was like, yo, you're talented. I'm really big on putting guys on that are from where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, like you're not like, you know, you're coming with me.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
You know, we helped him. You know, he's crazy. He's released some really big labels, and he's played shows and shit. And he's come a long way. So, you know, that's usually how it starts. It's all Facebook. I have a bunch of Facebook friends. Like, it's that industry is very Facebook driven.
It is. From the few bass guys that I have on Facebook, like the support that they get is insane. I mean, it's great, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the urban world is so Instagram heavy, and you know what I mean. It's definitely insane. You know, just talking about you mentioned like the numbers you had like on SoundCloud and stuff. Like, I know at least with Ben Maxwell, also a local dude, you have the Chainsmokers remix that has how many million now? 1 million.
I think on SoundCloud it has. Last time I checked, it was like maybe like 15 million, and on YouTube it has like 40 something million. I think.
What?
Yeah,
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
What Chainsmokers joint was it?
Paris.
Yeah, Paris Scrap.
Yeah, my manager was actually really good friends with. He's from New York, and he was really good friends with the Chainsmokers manager. I think they went to school together, and he got us the okay of he got us the vocal stems, and we were like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So as far as your account goes, the one that's on yours has 4.58 million. Yeah. I think I'm dyslexic. 5.48 million, which is just fucking insane. Like, and I remember, and the funny thing with like my relationship to this song is I know you, and I went to high school with Ben.
Oh, word!
Like,
I didn't know that.
Like I knew Ben when he was just Ben. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's funny, because the time I met you, and he was like, cause he moved to LA and he's like doing his little thing there.
I met him when he was already in LA.
Yeah, and like I hit him up and I'm like, yo, like I'm literally sitting with Scrap right now. And he's like, holy shit. Cause me and him had a few conversations where he was like, yo, I see you like blowing up in Boston, whatever. And I was like, I see you in fucking LA, like doing really dope production. And then two winters ago, I just linked up with him like in a few of like our high school mutual friends, and like we were just like, it was funny because like me and him just like went away and just talked music for like an hour, and everyone was like, oh, it's the two DJs. Like,
Yo, he's so talented, bro.
He's dope as fuck, and it's crazy because like he was he was always cool, but like he was mad quiet. You know what I mean? Like in high school, he was like mad low key, super low key, and like, you know, you see people grow and like tap into their potential, tap into their talent, and then they become these like dudes with like fans and like dudes with like tons of listens and tons of streams. Like it's so wild. And so that's why when I saw this, I was like, I know both of these dudes, and it's like an insane record.
We got
like,
super, and through like just being in the industry, I met the owner of a YouTube channel called Trap Nation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's like one of the biggest channels in fucking in when it comes to EDM or bass music. And
yeah, it is.
And I sent him the song. He's like, yo, I got you, and upload it, and it just fucking took off. It's
what is it like? I mean, I know artists get this all the time. Like, did you know that collab record was gonna be like the one?
No, and I've actually made a lot of the songs that I've made, the first originals. It was just me fucking around and just experimenting and learning and uploading it. It was there was no I had no idea of what might happen. There was no real promotion. I remember at that time I was paying like some repost channels to like repost my song, but I was spending like $100 or something like that at a time, and just SoundCloud was really organic, and
SoundCloud's definitely changed a ton.
Yeah, it was super organic at that point, and it was kind of like just a moment, and I kind of rode this like trap music wave at that time. And,
you did.
And it helped a lot with music. It helped a lot with relationship building. Like there's a lot of friends that I have from like 5, 6 years ago that are in different positions now, and they're positions of power. Like there's a lot, like the industry went from being very underground to like something that now major labels are signing these smaller labels, or are now someone who was a producer or a friend of a producer and that was managing him now is A&R at Atlantic or something. So there's a lot of relationships that you build over the years, because it's a very like niche community of like artists. Like it's very producer driven, so it's guys rely a lot on support from each other.
Right. But on the same token though, like just like there's a million DJs, there's a million producers.
Yeah.
Like making really similar music, right? So
It's gotten more over the years. There was a lot back then. There's so much more now.
If I walk through Central Square and I see a dude drinking a Monster, I'm like, you're a bass producer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you're probably a bass producer.
Yeah.
And like, so as someone who, like, you know, I think many people would say, like, and making it, right, it's all different levels, and when you make it one way, you want to make it the next way and whatever.
Yeah.
I say someone that has 6 million listens on SoundCloud on a record is making it to an extent. You know, what do you think brought you over? Was it the talent, or was it kind of your understanding of how numbers work and you know what I mean?
I think it's probably like a combination of both. Through the development of making music, I realized that it's an art, and there's no real wrong way to do it unless like you're really doing it wrong, like shit's out of key or whatever.
Right,
but it's like, it's very much, and I tell these guys a lot to my guys, I'm like, it's like a painting. It's like a visual painting. You may see it and may think it's like nothing. Someone else may come by and pay you $6 million for it.
Right.
So it's very subjective, and the world's a big place. And just based on stats on like songs, like I think my number 2 or number 1 or number 2 country is Egypt.
Wow.
Listeners, right? And it's like, and that's bizarre because I can't, still to this day, it's something
Like,
that's
how did it get to Egypt? Yeah.
And who am I to say or dictate what people in Egypt really like?
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, it's all of just do what you like and put it out, and really have no expectations, and do it because you like to do it,
Right?
not for any other motive like money or anything like that. Because I feel like when you chase money and you chase other things besides your passion, then you kind of like you put yourself in a weird place where it tends to not happen.
Yeah, and that applies to so much, like the reasoning, the intention, right?
The intention,
and we were talking about this like before we pressed record, like. That's why so many of these DJs are falling off. That's why a lot of, you know, just people that you thought were about that life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you take away the glitz and the glamour of it, and then all of a sudden they fall off. Then it's like, no, they weren't about that. They were just about the glitz and the glamour. You know
yeah, and you could tell, like, who, like, tried to learn just to learn. And then you could, like, that's kind of what gravitated me towards you, because I saw a lot of myself in you.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, you being so versatile and you having fun and you, like, and liking it. And I was like, I remember, I don't know if I ever even told you something, like, this kid's a problem. I remember telling like my boys, I'm like, yo, this kid is going to take over the city. Like, he's going to take over the city. He has so much potential. And it's because you like it. You could, and it was something that I don't remember why I started liking to DJ. A few years ago when I moved to Colombia, I found out that, like, my dad was very music driven.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, and then when I started, because he died when I was very young. And I remember my mom telling me, like, yeah, you should sleep in the studio. Like, he used to manage, like, this, like, salsa band cumbia band from Medellin, and, like, he was on the radio, and she never really spoke about him. But when I started asking and digging deep, he was like, yo, she's like, you're just like him. Like,
Right.
you guys do the same thing. He's like, you should sleep in his recording studio when you were a kid. And I'm like, there was
That's
something
crazy.
that I grasped from that when we used to live in LA. And there was something that I grasped, and when I was a kid, I remember I just wanted to be a DJ. And you can ask his friends, you know, longtime friends, they would be like, yo, I just remember you in high school in your room just fucking going in. That time was like CDs.
Yeah.
And I definitely put in my 10,000 hours.
Right.
Right. And just because I like to do it, and I started DJing in Boston at 19, playing for free, opening up for DJs. My first gig was Venue.
Your first gig was Venue?
Yeah.
God,
my first gig
like
in Boston,
opening or?
My first gig in Boston, no, it was Venue. My first gig in Boston was, I had opened up for a DJ, and the promoter liked me so much that he booked me the next week. And then I became like the resident for the Latin room.
Wow.
For like, and then I was like 19. I had probably just turned 20. And then that was kind of, and I just went, I just
took over.
Went and kept going. And it was, I think that the drive is you loving it so much. And I remember at the beginning DJing for free, and then, you know, I did it for like about 19 to like 27, like 8 years full force, just going. And prior to that, I had done house parties in high school. I did proms. I did all that shit. So I was doing it for a while. But you can tell that's what makes that's the difference. You can see who's really in it, and usually people that are really in it for the right reasons are the ones that stick around.
Right. Absolutely. And you mentioned like the 10,000 hours, like, and I said to me like, you put 10,000 hours like multiple things, bro. Like,
and it's I learned production doing it in YouTube, University of YouTube.
Yeah.
Same with like graphic design. I was, since I quit my day job, I used to do IT for Xfinity, and at all my jobs prior to that, they were all very IT driven, and I got in trouble so much for like remoting into my computer at home and downloading music.
That's fire.
Yeah, and I got in trouble so many times, and then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm making enough music. I'm making decent money. Back then, the pay was really similar to what it was today as far as the DJ. So, but the cost of living was cheaper, and I was living with my parents, obviously. Right. So I was like, all right, cool. At 19, I quit my job, 9 to 5, and since then I've been just living off of music. And I think having owning the 24 hours a day, then I was able to like really dive in and learn graphic design, learn production, and just kind of just create visuals, create music, create opportunities for other artists, create events like that warehouse party that
Yo, that shit was popping. Bajo Mundo, shout out Bajo Mundo.
Yeah, that's coming back too.
Yo,
it's gonna come back.
It's funny.
Oh, you went?
Yo, it's funny because she was one of the people that was like hitting me up like when we were doing the promo for it.
Yeah.
And I think like, cause I think like the guest is closed, or there was she just waited on it. No shade, but she waited on it. Yeah. And then it closes something, and I mean, you know how it is that night. Everybody hitting you up because they didn't get on the list or whatever.
And that was actually kind of like that was more like an experiment, because I remember when the concept came up, it was spontaneous, and there was this warehouse that was available.
Yeah.
And then I was learning it like Facebook ads at the time, and I was like, I wonder if just based off like marketing it right, if I can build this hype in a week. I think it was like we only promoted it for like a week.
It was insane.
And I was like, I'm not gonna. I made people sign NDAs. I don't know. You probably didn't.
Yeah, because I didn't have to sign on the guest list 'cause I was DJing. Yeah.
Most of the people signed an NDA, and I was like, yo, and they had no idea what the location was.
Yeah,
I could have mass murdered everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people and it was through marketing and running ads that
it was insane.
It was sold out. And
so I mean, I want to give more context to the people who don't know. So like, so this is obviously before you left, right?
It was it was my 30th birthday. That it was like around my 30th birthday.
It was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Promoters were so mad, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk about that because this was so far. I like forgot about it. I don't know how I could have. So it was because I remember you hit me up and you were like, "Yo, I'm doing this warehouse party. I want you to be one of the DJs. It's gonna be like multi-room.
Yeah.
Like different vibes and it's gonna it was free. Was it free? I don't think
it was a cover. It
was a cover.
Yeah.
But like, cause most people know, like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is like one of the biggest party nights of the year. Clubs, eat off of it, whatever. And so you're like, yeah, fuck the clubs, and fuck everybody who's part of the clubs.
I think what happened was that we were at this club.
Oh, right.
And we
I remember
we were doing this club and we were doing the kind of the marketing for them and setting up shows and curating shows, and they had gone through this rebrand and they needed help, and we stepped in and helped. And then once shit got popping, they were like, "Oh, okay, thank you, goodbye."
Yeah,
right. And then
I remember that.
We were like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna throw a fucking party, and your shit's gonna be dead." Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And they happened because I remember getting texts from like staff that were worked there, and they'd be like, "Yo, like, how's that at the party?" Like, and I'll be like, "Yo, how is it?" Like, "Yo, it's dead."
Yeah.
No one came. I'm like, yes.
And I love that. And I remember, like, you're a mad chill dude, but you were mad. Like, you were angry.
Yeah.
And I've never seen you like that.
Yeah, it's because it's fucked up. I mean, I try not to do people dirty.
Yeah.
I believe in karma and it's part of the business. And there was people in play that could have gave us a heads up that we had a relationship with. I'm like, yo, you could have sent me a smoke signal, bro. Like,
right.
But they let us know like very last minute, which is why that event happened so last minute. And I was like, I bet, like, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and I'm kind of glad it happened because I couldn't picture myself still working with them or being there.
Yeah, and so this party, like, guys, this wasn't. I'm trying to like explain it as well as I can, but like without like giving too much away at the same time. Yeah. This was a full production party, like what you're thinking of it was better than that. Like the DJ booth was a full.
It was we had the
like,
whole full thing,
like
full production.
festival, like
Yeah,
lighting and speaker setup.
we had a bar, super illegal, but we had it.
Super like full bar. And thing is like, oh my god. So I walked in. So I came early.
Yeah.
You know, I walk in. It's my first time seeing it, and obviously I see the DJ set, and I'm like, holy shit, wow, this is crazy. And they get like you guys have like the top tables. What is it? The standing
tables.
Standing tables. And I was like, okay, this is pretty official. This is pretty dope. And then I see like, I see like 10 baddies. Just like walking around, and I'm like, what the fuck?
The waitress.
And then there are the waitresses and like the bartenders, and then I like keep walking. I turn like over to like a hallway, and I'm like, yo, they're setting up a full bar. And then that's when I finally found you. Obviously, you're running around trying to make this party happen. You're like, bro, like I just went to New Hampshire, bought all this fucking alcohol, like you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo,
maxed out my credit card.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is fucking insane. And then I go to the other room, and like hookah set up.
Yeah, it was
like,
hookahs. Yeah,
it was and I was just like, yo, this is the shit that Boston fucking needs. Like, cause you like, obviously with all the legislation and the rules, I talk about this a lot on the show. Like, Boston is really like, it just doesn't let us party. Like, I feel like I'm in fucking Footloose. You know what I mean? Like, the government doesn't want us to fucking party. And you know, I'm sure there's reasons. Like, I'm sure accidents have happened in the past, and there's boneheads. We know that fucking someone stabbed someone outside of a club, and so I get it, but. You know, you see all these other cities doing warehouse parties and shit. So I was like, yo, this shit is going to be insane. But then the question was, who's going to come? You know what I mean? And so I stayed in the side room for a while because I think like I did a set there first. Yeah. And then I was going to play in like the quote unquote main room. Yeah. So I was chilling in the side room for a minute. Like, so my homies, I was just chilling there, chilling. Awesome DJ lineup too. And then I finally go out to the other room. The place is fucking packed.
Yeah, like, we did like over like 400 people.
Yeah, like insane.
It was over 4 something.
And it didn't close at 2.
Nah, it was like why do we the cops didn't show up? I know that for sure. I think that we stopped because it was just
too much.
Yeah, it was late.
Yeah, it was just too much.
And people were getting too fucked up.
Yeah.
Because that bar was like never ending.
Yeah, it wasn't. You had like I remember. I think you gave me like a drink ticket or something. I don't remember, but I like went up to the bar and like I kind of just like peeked over the counter, and I'm like, yo, this shit will not end. Like,
and people were getting too fucked up, bro. And then, we just had to like control it, and he was like, all right, cool. I think it was like 4. It was like from 9 to 4 or something like that when it started.
Yeah, I was like lit, and like I remember I didn't make it to the end. Like I was just like, why did I leave? I left for a reason. It's probably for a shorty. I'm not gonna lie, probably, but I left for a reason. But while I was leaving, and you said that this was gonna happen, that there was people trying to get in. Yeah. That. Like whether they be like part of the industry or like people that you weren't fucking with at the time or whatever, like, and you're like, I remember you telling me before, you were like, there's gonna be people that are gonna hear about this, be mad about it, and try and fuck it up or try and get in, and I'm gonna say nah. Yeah. And like while I was leaving, there was like people. Yeah, it was a bunch of talking to like the door dudes, being like
a bunch of fuckboy promoters that want to show up when they know they're not really invited,
right? And fuck shit up potentially,
yeah, and it would just be, you know, there was. I mean, I kind of did it. I was like, yo, the people that are going to be here are just patrons and people that I'm going to control this whole environment. Right. Like, there's going to be, like, no... I'm not anti-promoter, but I kind of am, in a sense. Just because I feel like promoters, like are not needed, in a sense. IG is your promoter, in a sense. Like,
I mean, this is opening a great can of worms.
Yeah, it's... promoter is just like a middleman. You can, like, I mean, you've thrown events. You can just go directly to the venue and do it yourself.
Shout out Day One Boston. We will be back.
Yeah, and dope party.
Dude, the one that
that was fucking dope.
600 people.
Dude, that was so
at
dope.
Fucking Fenway Johnny's. Francis was there.
Yeah, that was the vibe, bro.
We were chatting. So we did it again, right, multiple times, and we were talking. And Noel, the other half of Day One, he was still in grad school. Yeah. And it was funny because he's in class one day, and one of the fucking bartenders that day is in his class. And so obviously he was like, oh shit, I don't know if you remember, blah, blah, blah. And they were talking about it. And apparently, according to her, that was the only day that beat that day numbers-wise of the bar was...
Bodega, your birthday.
No, for them, for the venue.
Oh, okay.
That beat them, that the only day that beat our party, numbers-wise, sales-wise at the bar, was Marathon Monday.
Oh shit!
And it's Fenway. It's next to Fenway Park. They have a baseball game, and it's fucking
right there,
Marathon Monday. And I was like, yo, we just competed with Marathon Monday.
It was hot.
It was
like
July or something, like 100-degree day, line out the door. And like, it was one of those things where like obviously like I knew a lot of people there, and they were like, yo, my fucking homie from like 5th grade is here. Like people from Pravi are here. Like, and it was just like, and yeah, when we were doing that, we were realizing they're like, I was realizing more and more that I was like, yo, fuck. Like, why? Like, I'm gonna just do my own shit. Yeah. And we were curating just such a distinct vibe.
Yeah, I mean, promoters are just, in this city, promoters are outdated in the sense where, like, if you're a promoter, you have to bring something more than just an idea, right? Or, like there has to be a reason why you're throwing a party. And I think there's a lot of guys, like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna see Sexy Saturdays on a flyer.
Right.
Or some shit like that. And so, like, and just because you're a guy that hires sub-promoters to promote, like, okay, cool, but the DJ is the guy who really has all the leverage, especially now with social media. Like, if you book someone that has a decent enough following, why is the promoter taking the door and giving you like less than 10% of the revenue when you generate most of it?
Right.
Anyways, right? Or you're not that you generate most of it, but you know, they don't fairly compensate. And I remember when I hit you up when I think you had Jason on. Jason.
Yeah.
And
and
he was talking about, like, you know, and it was like kind of some, like, I agree with, you know, he's been in the industry for a while, but I don't agree really what kind of his thought process is, because, you know, for a guy that's been in the industry for so long, since like the 90s, like, you know that I was getting paid $300, $350 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, cost of living has gone up.
Right.
Like, why are guys still getting the same pay?
Right.
Why is the promoter, you know, if the promoter is keeping, okay, let's say they're not keeping full door, they're keeping half of the door, why are they allocating less than 10% of their budget to their entertainment? They're not paying you 500, they're paying you 3 something, so it's like less than 10%. And it's a bad business model, and it's never like and I told you, I'm like, they're exploiting DJs. And the whole DJ union thing, remember, you know, that whole thing?
Yeah.
That was talked about before.
Yeah.
Like, during my time, guys wanted to do the same thing. But just promoters know how like needy DJs are, and you can pass on gigs, but it's gonna be some other kid that's gonna take it. So
the market, like, there's so many fucking DJs in Boston, in the world. I mean, it's
not all promoters are bad. But most of them are.
Not a lot of promoters are bad. There's definitely
they're gonna hate me.
You're already out, man.
It's cool. I'm not even from here, so I feel
you're in Colombia. Like,
and I think I think that's the beauty of it too, because for a while now, I think I remember, and I'll give you a good example of like a story that I was DJing at this club in downtown Boston. I was a resident. I was playing on Fridays, and I remember asking. So I was getting, you know, once I started getting curious, I was only getting like $300, right? And then I'm like, yo, you know, I've been resident. I want more, right? This place is packed. Like, I'm part of the growth. I'm promoting.
Absolutely.
You know, you're offering me $5 on the list. It's cool, but that only does so much. I'm getting paid $300, but I got paid $25 for parking, right?
Woo!
So, and dude, I'm telling you, these are stories that, I mean, this is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Same exact shit. Yeah.
And
like, I remember I was like late to a spot, and they're like, why didn't you just pay? There's a parking garage right next door. Why didn't you pay? And I'm like, because that comes out of my cut. Like, if I can avoid, and they're like, they don't pay for your parking. I was like, no. Like, so let's say back in my opening days, if I'm just making 100 bills opening, and I pay $25 for my Uber for my parking, like,
it doesn't make sense.
I don't make money. You know what I mean?
It
like,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it's so like at the spot I was playing at, I remember playing for a while, and like everything, you expect a raise at some point. I mean, I'm smart enough to know that bar minimums are certain. So, you know, and I know how much the bar is generating. A bar generates 70 to 80%, have 70 to 80% profit margins, bro. You know, they buy a bottle for $40 and they're selling it for $380, $400.
Yeah.
So like, I know there's money. I'm the conductor of the ship. Everyone's having a good time. Why can't I get $100 more? Why is the promoter keeping all the money? And I remember asking the manager at the time, I was like, all right, cool. Like, what were bar sales? They're like, oh, you know, bar sales were like 7K. Cool. I'm like, all right, word. And I started thinking, like, how can I increase the bar sales? So in the Latin world, you know, there's different genres. There's like reggaeton and there's bachata. So like, at a point, I got so good at reading the crowd and reading the environment that I would manipulate people to go to the bar, right, to spike drink sales. Yep. So I remember asking the manager, like, okay, at this time or these times, like, how much more? So I started seeing trends. I'm like, yo, I'm like bringing in some serious cash right now, just because I know that I'm not playing for myself. I'm not playing shit that I want to hear. I'm having them enjoy. So I'm not killing them with bangers, you know. And I'm giving them a moment where they could take a break, do some bachata, and go to the bar. Blah, blah, blah. I'm giving them those moments, and I'm fluctuating sales. Yeah, I'm increasing sales. So
and people don't realize how much like control, like DJing is not just the skill. It's not just the popularity. It's not just it's a psychological.
Yeah, it's a science, bro.
Like it's a science, dude. Like the way we can control people. Like I can make you feel sad.
You can make people fight.
I can make there was people were talking. Yeah, fuck. What was the fucking topic? Yeah, I think it was after the Jeezy and Gucci Mane verses. Yeah. Where like you know, it was all the trap music, and like everyone, like these DJs I followed on Twitter were like, yo, like they're. I can think of a sequence of songs that if I play them in a row, a fight will break out. Oh yeah, and I know it will happen. Yep. And I can if a manager is like, hey, I kind of want this to end right now. Can you like kind of fake a fight and like we can have a reason to? I'd be like, yeah, no problem. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I will make it happen.
Yeah, at the right time. Yeah. People, you know, they got enough alcohol in their system. You get them riled up and they'll fight. And so at that instance, I realized that like I'm an asset. Right. And when they wouldn't give me more money, so I was like, all right, fuck you, I'm leaving, right? And after that, after I left, it was a really popular club downtown, and I was like, I'm starting my own promotion company. Got a bunch of my friends, and we started promoting at other clubs, and I started making money. And I don't know if you remember when I booked you. I don't ask you like when every time I book DJs at shows, I'm like, yo, how much you charge? Not how much I'm gonna pay you, like how much is your time worth, and I'll give you whatever you tell me. Right. So it's like
I do remember that.
So you know, and back to like the whole like promoter thing, it's an industry, it's a business model that's old school, never benefits the DJ, and I feel like DJs really need to realize how much leverage they have and how much power they have. And I think a lot of them are scared to speak out because they're scared of that pushback from the promoters because they won't get booked because there's someone else that'll get booked, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep it very neutral right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess.
But I've also tried. Like I have thrown my own parties, and I've seen. And thing is, before COVID, like we were starting a weekly Friday. That was.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You know what I mean? Like, and so it was like my approach was going to be, I can do both. You know, I can still work with these people that I like working with, and that pay me right, pay me on time, blah 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 blah. But I also and because I just like being able to DJ different kinds of parties. Club thing is something I like doing, but like what we were doing with Day, we were gonna play super old school stuff, soul music, like very like vibe, and I wanted to keep doing that, but like on a Friday night, like and I was like, but I also don't want to get tired of my own night, so I wanted to keep them both happening, and that's why I was gonna be super content because I had reached a point where I developed myself and Day One like to a point where like we knew people were gonna come, and a free Friday night, and it was. I'm still not telling people where it was, but like, but you know where it was, what it was gonna be, and like it was like a place that had like good foot traffic. That like once, we were gonna build something like you've done parties there as well. Yeah. That we were hoping that was gonna build into something really really dope. But we'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, and it's tricky because there's a lot of depending on promoters, and like I said, it's an old model, and there's a lot of people in positions of power that are, in my opinion, outdated, and it's they play these like gatekeepers, and like they dangle this like opportunities in front of your face, and you have to do certain things to earn it or whatever. But it's never really based on skill. It's based on like a lot of insecurities from the guys that are in power. They don't want anyone else to top them, and I think that's just that's what keeps Boston from growing. Because at some point, if you're this guy that knows the guy running the show, and you're the DJ or you're the guy running the shit just because you're kind of grandfathered in, like I can never, like, I'm too much of a creative to be like, I'm not insecure enough, so I'm not insecure to not give props to someone else who's killing it and be like, yo, it's your time to shine, come up here, and like I don't got to be the guy who was DJing, you do it, like do what's good for the industry and the culture, and not say you're for the culture and not allow the foot traffic and for the culture to grow. And this is, I mean, I've been in position with a lot of politics and a lot of like weird shit. So like people and there's a lot of people that, and it's not just the city. I'm pretty sure it's in other cities too, but they stifle the growth. They stifle the growth, and it's all based on like bullshit politics. That and who the fuck wants to see the same guys playing the same fucking clubs forever? Like, you know what I'm saying? Give a chance to the other guys. Like, be aware that the pay is bullshit. The pay is shit, bro. Like, the pay can't be the same thing it was 10 years ago. That shit makes no sense.
Right.
Right. And you know, and my thing is, you know, I was talking to a lot of guys during the pandemic from here. They would hit me up and be like, yo, dude, like, what can I do? Like, you got any advice? I'm like, yo, just look for your independence. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to be independent. Like, try to cut any ties from, like, try to be your own boss and don't have any, like, don't depend on someone to get you your bread. Like, find ways to do it yourself. Obviously, to get booked at a club, you got to get booked by someone, but it shouldn't be a promoter that is a DJ that doesn't want to give you the shine because he doesn't want you to grow more than he does. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no, this is actually perfect timing. You want to hop on the mic real quick? Ado, our beautiful producer, former kind of still promoter, pops on for some 2 cents. We were just having a pretty good discussion. Welcome, Ado. So I can keep going. So we were just having this conversation of you know, kind of the club promoter to DJ system could be outdated in that oh shit, I almost just had you talking turn that mic on. Yeah. and you know, actually scrap, I mean, you probably can say it way better than I can, if you don't mind.
Well,
kind of explaining what you're saying. Like how like to a certain extent, like, promoters aren't necessarily like needed, because if the DJs are the talent and the entertainment, and it's such a social media driven world, you know, are bringing people out and whatever, you know, why are they getting the same pay that they got 10 years ago while the bar grows and nights grow and people's money grows? You know, there's such a distinction and why DJs are stagnant when oftentimes they can throw a party themselves or et cetera.
And do everything. Yeah, I mean, there's always been a question of like what role does the promoter or the host do in a night, right? And I don't think we're ever going to get away from them being a major factor into that piece, because you have to understand, right? From a DJ perspective, you guys aren't the guys on the bootstrap of like going to go shake hands or thing. And the reason why I say that is that you guys are always going to different venues, right? From the DJ perspective, you guys are always trying to play different clubs, show your element. So a venue can't be like, all right, unless you, the DJ, just say, you know what, I'm just going to be here and go nowhere else. Then you can almost be like DJ, promoter, you know, type of personnel that people recognize, hey, I'm only going to this place. I'm only going to go to Cure Sundays or Cure on Saturdays because of snacks. But I don't think owners are going to just be like, hey, you know what, like, I'm going to take that risk, because they understand what you guys' goal are. So I think the promoter in that essence will always have a job.
Yeah, I mean, promoters will always have a job. I mean, there's a need for better promoters. You know,
yes.
In the sense where, like, when we was talking about, like the pay, right? The promoter pay, I mean, the DJ pay, when I was DJing in the city a lot, 10 years ago, was still $300, $350. Yeah. Right? And everything, cost of living has gone up, so it should be more. And
it should be relative.
It should be relative, yeah. And especially if you want the DJ, you're hiring a DJ for services, and if you want them to promote, then pay them.
Yeah, but I think for certain promoters, I don't want to speak for everyone, that I think, you know, from us, we respect when you like, yo, damn, Snack sent a big list. Like, could we give him a little bit more? Can we do something? Can we maybe give him more drinks? Can we do something so he feels compensated for promoting as well?
And that's a good promoter.
You know what I mean? But I don't think some people, and correct me if I'm wrong, have we not?
I love working with you. There's
you
a
know,
reason.
you know what I mean? And so I think there's some people that like don't do that and don't recognize. I'm not dumb. Like, if I book Snacks, I understand what comes with that. Not just the music. I understand that there's going to be a list, right? But That's also why I think we book him and we want to have him a consistent night that is his. The second of every month is his.
Yeah.
But like I think that comes with it. That's like the respect of like, you know what? No matter what else you're doing, I'm gonna do that because I understand that you're gonna bring a list and everything that comes with it. But let's be honest, there's some DJs that don't have that pull. So like that's why like it does need to be relative because there's really good spinners like can control a crowd, but don't bring anything to the table. And I think today you need to bring something to the table. Like
for sure.
You can't just be good at music anymore.
So if DJs had kind of a better position in terms of like kind of more pull on a night, don't you think that would kind of actually like level out the market in terms of how many DJs? Because then DJs would be like, I would love to be a DJ, but I know I can't do this, so I don't. Maybe DJing's not.
It's
for
just
me.
it's just like everyone's getting pulled into the same kind of like mess.
Because that's my issue. Like if you know, you just explained me from your business side. From when you book me, you get this. Yeah. But then I look at it and I'm like, okay, but then the next week, a dude who does half of what I do with half of the ability that I do it in is getting paid the exact same amount as I am. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's when I start getting like I get mad triggered. Like we have I think I'm an easy-going guy, but like if you know me like and I start talking about like kind of just where I think I fit in the grand scheme of things, I get really fucking pissed off because I'm like, yo, I'm doing this and the extra, whatever. I study, I practice, I like bring people, I'm talking to people, I'm networking. Yeah. And I am on the exact same playing field of someone that picked up a controller a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I think what the tough thing is in Boston is that because there's so many of them, right? And because there's no way of trying to control what you do and who you work with and how many promoters there are. Imagine the scenario that you say, you know what, we're going to pay you more. And then now, right, there's other people I have to answer to when you are not on, like, if you're coming on a Friday and you're going to go work somewhere else on a Saturday, right? I no longer have leverage. Now the other person, I said, you know what, I booked snacks for XYZ amount, which is higher. And now I want you to come play for lower, but still do the same amount of time. I know you may not be as good or bring as much. Then how's that conversation?
So it's more work for you or the promoter because now you have to explain money payouts to different people based on their level, how you see them.
But also the availability too. But that's a big factor because like if you go somewhere else and then I'm like, you know what, like a Saturday night, like it doesn't require as much work to really get a party going, right? Like maybe I pay you a little bit less because it's going to be popping regardless. Yes, can I keep them longer if you are like a snacks? Right. But like I know it's going to be jumping. I just don't. The money conversation around DJing, it's easier to just standardize it so everyone just knows this is the base. Where I think the other people, the reason how we look at as promoters of like how we provide that respect, the once a month, right? The house DJs, stuff like that. I don't give that to everybody. Right. I give everybody a chance. I'll take ownership. I've put some people on in certain scenarios, maybe whether they're ready or not. But from a money perspective, I give everyone the same. But there's some people that get more than others for sure.
This is gonna just me kind of pushing buttons a little bit and playing devil's advocate.
I disagree. I agree partially, right? And I guess standardize it so this kind of a basis. I guess you could standardize the base pay, right? The minimum. But if you want snacks, there's a reason why you want snacks. Yeah. Right? And there's a value to the name, right? And it's not so much of like how many people he's bringing physically. It's kind of like a total package. Yeah. And kind of dipping my
I mean, we're just sucking me off now. I'm loving this.
my experience in other industries, right? I went from a local DJ to like a bass music EDM DJs. Yeah. You get booked and what's your fee? How much do you charge? All right, so I charge X amount, right? Six, whatever you want to charge, and you get booked based on your fee. I understand how like locally it's a different scenario, but with social media, if you were to make a TikTok right now and go viral, right, and then now you want a promoter to book you, now your pay's up because you have leverage. But why is that? Why is there no in between? Why do you gotta go viral and be unreachable to the point where like you're so viral you're gonna charge $1,000?
But that's the beauty of it, right? Is that like, let's be honest. I think in Boston, the what maybe people are gonna sugarcoat around is that who is that, right? Besides the art of like playing music, right? Who, if we're really like, I don't want to say that I don't care about like how good a DJ is because I do, but if you take that away and you still have the promoter that says, you know what, I'm going to bring all these people and they're going to spend money, because realistically, they're going to come. Yes, do they maybe go somewhere else because another DJ is better? Yes, but the essence of they're not going to stop coming out. So why do I now give my control to the DJ and let him dictate how much I pay?
Well, what about when they stop coming?
But that I don't think that's a realistic thing to say that, like, all right, you know what? If Snacks doesn't come on this night, we're not going to be successful.
So
Right.
but couldn't the DJ, like, using me as the example, like, so if I'm like, okay, Ado says that they come no matter what and they stay because of the music. How about I kick out Ado? What if I go to I would never do this.
Yeah,
Homies,
and then
homies. What if I go to management? I'd be like, yo, that dude Ado, fuck him. They're gonna come anyway. Ado just said it. I have it recorded. They're gonna come anyway, and they're gonna stay because of me. And they're like, oh yeah.
And I think the promoter sometimes gives themselves too much credit, because, like, okay, cool, like like they're gonna come, like, cool, like the venue draws a lot of the people to come, right? First of all, people looking somewhere to go. You're kind of just like the guy promoting, putting together the fun party that people are gonna come to. But I feel like the DJ is a really big part in that, and you can still have a party without a promoter. And I think if the promoter leaves, I guess in some instances the people might stop coming. But I feel like if, for example, if there was at a gig and, you know, Snacks was there and Snacks was the resident or some shit, and the promoters left, I think Snacks is probably in tune with the same crowd, that they probably still keep coming. They probably have more loyalty to good music than to a promoter.
See, that's where I think I'll disagree. That, like,
I love this. I love this.
You know, that, like, to be honest with you, I don't think a night will run. I don't think there's any DJ in the city that will want to carry the burden of the pressures of having to fill.
No, in the business aspect. Yeah, the business aspect behind it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because to a small extent, like I said, I was throwing my own parties, and, like, I was like, damn, this shit fucking sucks.
Yeah, and the risk, the responsibility, the bar minimums, like, all that you have behind the scenes. Yeah, just the liabilities. But I feel like there's a place there where if there's a DJ that's like, yo, listen, like, I want to get paid, you know, this amount, and there's obviously enough money being generated.
Yeah, of course.
For them to and it's, I feel like a smart promoter would be a good business move. Like, oh, listen, like, this is how much you charge. Obviously, if they something ridiculous, then you're not going to give it to them. Yeah. But I feel like there's a place where, cool, like, this is how much you charge. This is how much you can keep you happy. Then cool, like, let's do that. But like I said, the pay has been the same for like 10 years. So, like,
but let's say for what it is. Let me ask you as a DJ.
Let's do it.
Both DJs.
Yeah.
So why haven't you guys asked more? Let's really break down why.
So I'll give why haven't I asked for more?
Yes, and then speak maybe to other DJs of why they don't ask more.
So there's a few promoters that there's one that Scrap and I mutually know and have both worked for, where I was working with him for like 3 years straight, and the parties were growing. I did every single event, and you know, I'd get sick sometimes or whatever.
Yeah.
And by year 3, I was like, yo, how have I not gotten a raise? Like how is my payment still the same? Like I pushed on him. Like, I was just like, this makes no sense. Like, kind of what you're saying, you know what I mean? Your parties are growing, you're doing more of them. Yeah. And now people come because, like, they know the music's gonna be good. You know, it's a consistent whatever. Yeah. How am I not getting more money? And, you know, gave me the runaround, blah blah blah, blah, all because, you know, it's expenses and blah blah blah. And I was just like, it didn't make sense for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have pushed back, but generally speaking, it's not like I do that to everyone, because, you know, I want to get my bookings. I take pride in my bookings. You know what I mean? And so, but then at the same time, having conversations like this with Scrap, like, that's why I started. Fuck, was it you? It might have been Scrap who was like, start throwing your own fucking parties. And that was like the birth of day one. And like when we started doing my own stuff with Noel, like, and it was, and kind of what I was just explaining before you walked in was, I liked having that, you know, I have a night that's mine, but then I like that I can still turn around and do some other people's nights. And like, and I have the balance of like doing different kinds of stuff for different kinds of people, blah, 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 blah. But I did, like, it's not like I sit here and I complain as if I didn't do anything. Like, I created my own night. Yeah, where I was the one in the meetings with the venue owners and the managers trying to get shit popping. And like, I was the one fucking on Eventbrite and on doing ads and doing all that shit.
And not every DJ should be a promoter either. Right. Not every DJ. But I feel like, you know, the DJ is DJ is a promoter in a sense. So like, it's a lot of just, having them get paid what they deserve.
Look, I agree. I don't want to come on here and be and sound like I don't value. Yeah, exactly. And sound like I don't value and understand what role a DJ has in making a successful night. Like, you don't have a 500-person night, to be honest with you, without good music. But it also doesn't come without I think the what's not being said is everything that comes before you have a good DJ. Right. It's like the building the foundation. Because look, the clubs in Boston, let's say for what it is, they're not Miami. Because Miami, regardless of the promoter, people are going to come to that place because they understand stardom's going to be there. They're going to understand, yes, music's going to be there, but just the buildings themselves are good. In Boston, the promoter can really change what people think about a building. Because let's just say on Fridays at Storyville, no one knew it until we really started going there. A lot of people went there and tried to be successful, but it didn't pan out, right? On Saturdays, everyone knew that it was the hottest night. Yeah. MVP went and turned that place up. So we had an uphill battle before we could even get you guys for even Snacks to want to come be over there, right? I had to get it to a place where it's just like, okay, Snacks wants to put his name on a Friday night at Storyville where it was ghost town. Again, no disrespect to, like, I love that management team and all those guys, but it is what it is. Some DJs won't come and put their name on something before it's popping. Yeah, I know you wouldn't want to just go to a dead party, but you play through anything. So with respect to you, I'm saying like to other people. Oh yeah, for sure.
No, and I understand that, and but I think this it's not necessarily like the DJ will go in and do everything, and the promoter, like, it's not kicking out the promoter. I think the perfect marriage or the perfect scenario is a team that is spearheaded by a DJ, and like they curate everything, but they have that dude in the back that does the meetings, that does the business, that does the number. You know what I'm saying? So it's a team. I think that's the best case scenario, but I think it's really the issue of the separation of that middleman, right? The promoter that's now distinguishing how much they're getting, which is, because if my issue is if a promoter's like, hey, we had a dead night, I might have to short you 100. I'm like, okay, so now when there's a sellout night, you better add 100. If we want to make shit relative, we'll make shit relative. Yeah, I'm on your side. If you want to, hey, you can't pay me today because it was a dead night. Okay, I'm gonna remember when in a year, like you got your shit together, and now you're doing sellout nights every week. Yeah, I'm gonna need a rack.
And think about it. Of course, most promoters, they're getting a percentage of the bar, right? And they're getting whether full door or percentage of the door. So like, there's money there. There's money there for maybe the promoter has to like not make as much money that night or whatever. But it is a lot of and don't get me wrong, DJs got to do a lot of the work themselves too. You can't just be a DJ now and expect to get paid money. You got to nearly be the fucking social media influencer and you know.
True.
So like, but like I said, if you were to create a TikTok and blow up, how much would you charge? Would your price go up?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Right.
But he would also alienate who could book him. Let's be honest, because some people are not going to book that.
The fish outgrows the pond in
Correct.
that scenario. Okay, but if you're a really popular 20-something-year-old with a lot of friends, you're a micro influencer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you shouldn't get the base pay. You should get, and you shouldn't also be held to like a guest list. I think like after a while, people will stop signing up to guest lists and come anyways. You add value to the night, so I feel like that overall value needs to be appreciated. And and this is kind of like a guy that did it before. When it comes to the pay, and I feel like we're kind of stuck on that subject, but the pay's been the same, right? The pay's been the same for a while, and I feel like it just needs to go up.
I agree. I think it can go up, but let me ask this for both of you guys. Do you not think providing like a residency we're basically guaranteeing a paycheck for you every single time?
Yeah. So what you were explaining but I think it's relative to where the DJ is in their career, because if it's
like, it turns into exclusivity. Now you're exclusive to that one place instead of being somewhere else.
Well, it depends how you look at it. So like 24-year-old Snacks, like I'm starting to like hit, like the word residency was to me was like
foreign.
I was like, no, it was hot. Like I was like, like I wanted it because especially when it's at a good high profile spot, because that adds just like social capital to me, you know what I'm saying? So and I saw and I realized that, you know what I mean? And so when you're like that, so I get what you're saying, that it's that non-monetary like bump, You know what I'm
that
saying?
you
Like,
also kind of get, because like
Yeah.
I look at it like Bijou on Fridays, right? Like we have big artists that come there, right? But those are also stemmed through the relationships and the investment from the owners that we had to go pitch. Like, hey, listen, we're gonna turn this night with all of our teams into this. All right. And so then now we have to start picking, all right, which DJ is going to be there when we have the Ty Dolla Signs, when we have those big bookings, when we have, it's like, all right, there's only a few that are even in the name of that, right? Him being one of them, and several other ones that are definitely in that chase. But I think like those are some of the things that we also provide that aren't like, that can't be calculated by money. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
at the same time, though, so there's the example of like young snacks, like love it, and I'm like, hey, I'm good for it. But then let's think of 33-year-old snacks, bro. If you don't know, but at that point, like I've been in the game 15. If you don't know me, you don't like. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I don't need the residency anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need the social capital anymore. I have it. Run me my money. What I need is now I probably have a family. Now I have other things I want to work on.
But
Now I have
those things
so like
those
it's all relative. So like being like if you're like, hey, like I can't pay you more, but hey, how about I give you first Friday of every month? I'd be like, yo, I don't need that. What I need is money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's all very different.
And the pay increase is probably just like if you increased it like $200 or whatever it is, like it makes a difference, right? It just hasn't moved since 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is like, to me, is like that shit makes no sense. So and that's kind of the real issue when it comes to that, and that's kind of then like, why is the promoter making all the money, or why isn't the promoter like brokering a better deal for the DJ, since the DJ is put on this pedestal and he's the guy navigating the whole scene, and if God forbid the music shuts off, all the weight falls on you, right?
Of course. I mean, that's I also look at it from that perspective, being like, God forbid, right? Someone pulls a plug at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Not only am I hearing it from the owner, but the pockets hurt, because sometimes in certain venues they do give you a bar percentage. It's like, damn, that's an extra paycheck that could have covered XYZ expenses. I wonder though, like, how do you, if everyone is just as good, right? Like, how do you find those DJs that are now going to be separated to say, you know what, I'm going to pay them this? Right, because he has, I'm sure he could give us like a list of folks that he could be like, damn, like these guys are really like close to me, if not like damn near my skill set. So like, how do you determine that, right? Because it's going to be relative. He's going to think something, Stans will think something. All these guys are going to think that they're the best and they deserve this. Mm-hmm. So like, what else? How can I judge besides a guest list, or besides like what you bring to the night? Because I know really good DJs that don't, like, on some nights, like, no one comes and asks for them.
Right.
And you're just like, and you look, right? At least I scan. I walk around and I know when people come up. Like, Snacks doesn't have to tell me when there's certain groups of girls that are there or certain guys that are there. I understand that they're coming for him.
Yeah,
I mean? Yeah, And
What?
by the way, he's hype. I need to stop gassing.
Yeah, we gotta stop gassing Snacks.
Yeah, this is my damn show, baby.
Yeah, I know.
And to your point, I think like the evolution of a DJ has, over the years has changed with social media. I think being an influencer, some sort of influencer matters, right?
Yeah.
Why do you pay DJ Drama to go to your venues? Because it brings some type of clout and type of notoriety to this. You paying him whatever it is. And I think that in a micro sense, DJs themselves need to do that. You got to be on social media platforms. You got to have some influence. You can't just be a DJ anymore to be popping. You got to have a podcast. You gotta
do everything.
You gotta do everything, right? Yeah. So then I think
know the vibes.
I think you take that into account when it comes to maybe seeing who's worth more, but it's tricky, right? If a guest list,
I definitely see what you're saying, Edo.
And I agree. It's besides the guest list, how you really
judging that.
Judge
you know
it,
what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
This is the last thing I'll say about like just kind of pay thing. I think you guys are right that like certain venues need higher compensation, right? But there's venues I think now already have like clout regardless of whatever DJ that you bring.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Bijou, regardless on one night it is, the name Bijou already has like a stigma that damn, like I'm gonna come here regardless of any DJ.
Right.
Same thing with I would say like a venue Saturdays, right? That's just a place that's it. I don't want to badmouth any other venues, but there's venues a little outside of just like the heart of Boston that like I would truthfully be like, yo, Snacks, if you're DJing here, like I'll pay you more and plus your guest list, because I understand like it's a harder pull to get them to go there.
Right. Yeah.
I see a world of that. I don't ever see someone being like established venues, because promoters also know what leverage they have.
Yeah. And I think the job of the DJ is starts establishing their leverage.
Yes. I want, you know what? I want DJs to come push back, so then I can also start understanding like what pushes one DJ from this class to the other class.
Yeah.
Because I don't think promoters really understand, right? We can hear the music, you can hear their transition, but like I want to understand the art of it, and that's what's gonna push me to be like, all right, you know what? He deserves 400, he deserves 800.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know enough about it besides just be like, all right, he shows up on time, he brings a guest list. Like it's just the truth. That's just unless you.
But that's why that's why I'm like, why are you a promoter, bro? Not you.
Yeah,
like, I look at some. I'm like, why are you promoting? You don't know the first thing about fucking music, but you know what I mean. But you dictate who's booking what. Like to me, like there's some promoters that come into mind where I'm like, bro, like what are you doing? Like they'll be like, yo, like they'll text me, yo, can you play this song? I'm like, yo, this song was popping 3 years ago. Why the fuck would I play this song right now? Like
See,
they don't know shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and you're the guy who's judging DJs to book them next week, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this makes no fucking. You're so out of touch. Like, yeah, like you're gonna make another Sexy Saturdays. Oh, good job. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, I've seen that forever.
Yeah, it's so that's why that's shit. And then and my issue with a lot of promoters is that they make things relative when it's good for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this venue's smaller, so I can't pay you what I pay you at the other venue because that holds 100 people more. Okay, but when shit's sold out, then make my pay relative too. That's my issue.
And that makes sense, because like owning a management company, and when I toured and I dealt with having these negotiations with promoters, you know, the offer sheet that you get as an artist, you get all the information. You get the venue capacity, how much tickets are gonna be sold for, and then your management team can gauge of what to charge, right?
Right.
I think that that's not applied in this scenario, but it maybe should, right? It maybe should that there's more capacity.
Right.
The DJ has to control more of a crowd, because it is an art form and it is a science.
Yeah, right.
100%.
So maybe that's a way for.
I wish more promote. For me, I knew what we were gonna do for a year, right? Regardless of how good our nights was, I was able to factor how many events I needed to do a month, even if there was a hit on an event, to basically understand this is the science to get to this number. Right? I thought about it exactly like that. Whereas I don't think a lot of people do, because I think people think this industry is just fun and games. Like, you know what, bring people out. They don't understand what really gets people out, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of guys are in it for the quick cash. They don't think longevity.
Yes. You know what I mean? So that's who I think we're talking about. I also just don't think Boston is like, we get squeezed from venue owners. We talked a little bit about it last time. So, like, of course, everyone's trying to hold their dollar.
Right.
Like, we're talking about one of the grimiest industries, because everyone's trying to get to the top and make their dollar. And if they're not businessmen or businesswomen, they're going to do everything they can, because I was a promoter too. I worked for people, and I could see how much money was being made.
Right,
but I'm out here making $50.
Right.
Nah. Like, so then when you get to the thing, at first, you're like, damn, let me hold this. But then you realize, like, that's not going to work for the long term.
Right.
Then you have to give everybody a little bit more money. Yeah. But that's just my thought process. I'll never hold out on someone making more money. Someone asked me, I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, this is what I can judge on right now. If you can't do that, I think the industry is going to evolve for sure.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I mean, Boston seems to be a little like behind in times.
And a lot of
shit. So hopefully it does.
This is you walked in the perfect time. But we have more to talk about. Ado, love you,
brother. Appreciate you having me coming on, man.
I appreciate everything you do for this podcast and for me. Love you. It's your mom's birthday, right?
Yeah.
Shout out moms.
Shout out moms.
All right, I'll get out of here.
Yeah, and also this doesn't have to be like a bashing promoters, because I know.
But that's why when he walked, I was like, because we could have easily just sat here and been two bitter DJs bashing. That's why I was like, get the promoter in here and let's talk.
Yeah,
you know, and this was an awesome conversation, and opened a lot of perspective, and that's what I love about this podcast. Besides that, it's mine. Is there's so many people, whether they just be just beginners or people that do go out a lot. the club rats, whatever, but they don't know the money. They don't know the business. They don't know how the hierarchy of the politics of it. Yeah. And so I love that we just had that conversation to be able to just break a lot of things down.
And the DJs, don't get me wrong, the DJs got to put a lot of work themselves. Like you constantly need to outwork and outprove your, over deliver.
Absolutely.
DJs there's DJs like a guy that I really respect his hustle, Cisco. Right, guys that you build the company around you being a DJ. So now you're like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna go DJ, but then I got this squad that's gonna promote and bring in X amount of people. 50 people at $20. That's $1,000. So like, I'm you know what I'm saying. So you have that leverage, and I feel like DJs need to think of themselves more as a business versus I'm just a guy playing at a club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Cisco. Yeah, he's a smart man.
Yeah,
he's a smart ass guy, and I gotta get him on this bitch too.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah.
And
I think in his development was a lot having that chip on his shoulder. Like he wasn't getting booked in Boston, so he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go up north, call myself the king of the north, and kill it and run it, and then do all these things where wherever Cisco goes, he's gonna outperform. Maybe not on the decks, but as far as like
you feel his like when he's there, you feel
the
it.
presence,
yeah, you
right?
feel it,
and that generates into dollars, which is kind of the bottom line for the whole night.
Yeah.
So I feel like more DJs need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is on the pedestal in terms of Massachusetts of what a lot of younger DJs look
should
like.
Yeah, should, yeah, exactly.
And he deserves it. He puts so much work, money, and he's a smart he pushed it, and I'm like, God fucking damn, like.
Yeah, and
he's leveling up, like
investing in yourself. Register yourself as a business. Like take care of your money from day one. A lot of guys don't know, and it's prior to COVID. I was telling guys like, yo, you should like register. You should like LLC your shit, or like you should get an EIN, get your paperwork right. Because there's these benefits for small businesses that that. Now during COVID, you could have gotten this loan you could ride it out. You could expense your equipment, your gas, all that. Yep. And a lot of guys don't know that.
I didn't know that, and I spoke to a fat kid, Danny. He's the one who told me all that like 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's definitely. So you got to start seeing yourself more as a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Cisco. A lot of stuff he's doing, but he also has never booked me, so fuck Cisco at the same time. Just kidding. Cisco, I'm gonna hit you up and get this on. He's probably not even listening. But everyone check out Cisco and everything he's doing. He's doing a ton during COVID. And that's the thing, a lot of people see COVID as oh, this is the reason I'm gonna chill, or this is the I'm like, yo, you should be doing way more because it's COVID.
I got mad love for Cisco, and that motherfucker works like a Mexican, bro. And he's consistent, bro. He
is Mexican, by the way, so that's Mexican, why we can say that.
He's hella consistent. He's he's always doing shit, and I feel like that's what you need to do. You constantly need to out of sight, out of mind. Someone told me that once, like if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. The world keeps moving.
Absolutely. You
may be sitting there just scrolling through your Instagram, watching other people, but nobody's watching you. So
absolutely,
it's a very content-driven industry. And dude, like with things like TikTok and all this shit, it's weird, bro. Like for me, it's like fuck. Like I'm this guy that was a DJ. Now I started making like bass music, and like, do I really gotta get on TikTok? I don't want to be doing no stupid dances, But you have to.
That's what I'm struggling with right now too.
You have to find. But one thing that's worked for a lot of the guys that I manage, and it was a strategical thing that fucking worked out really well, was producers finding their own way to become viral. So what I told a couple of my guys was like, yo, show snippets of you making music, of how you made this drop, right? Those like quick, like 2-3 second ones. One of the guys made this Blaze. Shout out to Blaze.
Yeah, I see you post this stuff a lot.
He made made this like house remix to Eminem song, and he just showed some like quick bits, and that shit went viral on TikTok. There's this other girl that I'm actually going to Mexico after leaving here. I'm gonna go meet up with this artist I just signed. Her name is Ray-Ben. She's a female DJ. She makes house music, and what she did was that in our countries, right? There's like there's people outside selling empanadas or whatever, and they're like yelling or and there was this truck that every time they picked up the trash, they rang this little bell. Right?
She sampled it.
So she went out and sampled it.
Oh, love it.
She sampled it. She like showed the process, little quick, and she fucking went viral.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like that's real talent and creativity, like that's the shit that.
But I thought about you a lot when you were doing those transitions, when you were doing the tone plays.
Yeah,
like you can snip that up and and put that up on TikTok, and it could probably go viral.
I know.
And if it does go viral, I want
so I have like 2 or 3 transitions that are up right now, and they both like flopped, and like I was ready to on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Like I was like there was a point, especially like during COVID, where I was like I was in just locked in my room.
So you stopped?
Well, so I I talked to my little sister who's on it, like, and I was like, teach me how it, like, I didn't understand anything about it. Like, teach me, what does this mean? Like, is there hashtag, like, is there hashtag, stuff like that. And so I posted one, and it did like, okay, it got like 500 views, which isn't good on TikTok. You know what I mean?
It's 500 views from people that I don't really know.
Right. And then I do another one, which was better. It was like 200 views. And I was like, ugh. Like, I was just very annoyed, and like, and honestly, like, I gave up. Like, I haven't posted since like July.
Yeah, you gotta push through that, bro. You gotta push through it and keep going. I mean, consistency is key.
Yeah.
And if you know you have talent, and you can never be an artist and dictate the market. The market is gonna tell you what's hot. The market is gonna tell you what works and what doesn't. All you are is some guy throwing shit up against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
And if you got the gift, the innate gift that you're born with, that's this drive to make music, then just fucking go full force and keep making it. And don't deter yourself. Don't measure yourself by anyone else's standards, especially online, bro. Social media, you can't measure yourself up against likes, because a lot of that shit's fake. You can't. You just have to, as an artist, your art is music, and if you like it and you do it because you love it, then put it out there. And like I said, have no expectations, see what happens. And more likely than not, especially on platforms like TikTok that are still so organic, and their algorithm is to push what's viral. And if you go viral, they try to make you more viral. It's not like Instagram that's very ad driven, where it's you got to spend money to be seen.
Yeah,
it's still super organic, and you just have to push through it, and you have to be consistent. Like, if you're not consistent, you just have to keep going. You have, especially now during COVID, bro. Like, you have to, like, when you stop doing the mixes and shit, I'm like, yo, dude, you got
so on my birthday, Scrap FaceTimes me at like, I don't know what time.
Like it was right before you started working.
It was like 8:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
And gave me this exact same speech that he just said right now. Like, he was I'm not gonna say anything. That's what it's like. Where was it? He gave me this exact same speech, and I mean, you were big brother. You're being a big brother. Like, you're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it was what I needed to hear. And you're talking about consistency and content and everything. Because, I mean, I do a lot. Especially started doing the podcast, but then I dropped something else, right? And so I not that I give up easily, but like, if I find that if I spend more time on one thing that I know is gonna grow well, I might just stop putting time on another thing. And you're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you? Like, why are you not putting me?
Because you're talented, dude. So like, when I see talent not go to waste, but like,
I hear you.
Misguided, or just because I'm on the other side,
right?
Because I manage these artists, and I know what it takes to get these guys to tour, and to, like, if you really want to be known, like, nationwide and stuff like that, you want to play in other states. There's a bar you need to hit, and it's not as easy as like, oh, I just know how to DJ, or I'm a good DJ and people enjoy my music at a club. Like, that was the bar years ago.
Right.
Now it's you need to be on all these platforms. You need a grind, bro, and it's a fucking grind. That's like, if you want to live off of this for the rest of your life, you have to work, more hours than you will work on a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
you got to put in the time, and you're competing. On social media made it so, like, the competition, bro, you're competing against millions of people, right? Just in this country. So it takes a lot of work. And when I see guys like, and I don't really like this, I have a lot of DJ friends, but there's not a lot of guys that I really kind of like push. And you're one of them that like, if
dude, getting that call from you, like, on my birthday, like, you like low key roasted me, but it was like what I needed to hear. And I left that call, and I was like, damn, like, that's why. And since then, like I was explaining, like, starting a weekly mix that I'm putting out gonna put out weekly mixes now of just showing my talent and my vibe or whatever. And like, that's all and I've like I'm working on an artist with a graphic artist to do the artwork for it. That it's gonna be custom every week. Blah blah blah. Like I'm putting time and money behind it now, and it was all because of like the conversation we had.
Yeah, I'm glad. And there's a lot of just marketing and a lot of behind the scenes things that take to make, there's a lot of more that takes to make an artist, grow and a lot of like I'm like huge on Facebook on ads, bro. Like I've made so much money off of ads and been able to target so many people via ads and it's something that I learned on YouTube. I learned it on YouTube, and there's nothing better than you being able to target the Snacks fans and not necessarily put up a post on IG and hit that promote button, but have the data where you create an audience in Facebook ads manager, that this is the audience and you know exactly where they're from, what their age is. From these are the people that clicked on Snacks' Twitch live stream, right? So then you have this group of people that you can be like, cool, I just started a mix series, so you can target these people, and your spend is gonna be way cheaper because it's actually targeted. You're not telling Instagram to guess,
right?
You're giving them information, and that's just a lot of things that I feel like DJs should learn. Because if not, then you got to pay a marketing agency to do that, right? And that's what it takes to grow and get out of the city and play out of state and do all these things. And I feel like a lot of guys don't know that. And I'm a guy that I feel like I learned it, and I want the world to know. Like so it's funny because everyone that I meet, I'm like, yo, that I respect. I'm like, yo, are you running any ads for your shit? No, like you should, bro. Like I got you. I'll show you how. Like, and I'm never really, I'm not selfish with my information. I'm a giver, bro, in that sense. And especially when it comes with guys with talent, bro. Like I said, when I met you, I was like, yo, this kid's gonna do some shit, and I want you to do some shit because I was able to do that shit and get out and really live off of music. I've been living off of music for 12 years now. I'm 32, right? And 12, 13 years just based on music, and all my income is music driven, and I don't even DJ.
Yeah. Do you miss DJing? I know, like, you were like, yeah, I got tired of it.
I still love it. It's still a passion. I do miss it. I'm just, luckily something told me when I moved to Colombia that I knew that if I wanted to live off of music for the rest of my life, I needed a foundation, right? I needed some sort of income, some foundation of money, right? Because you need money to live. And I want to be able to take the gigs that I want to take. I want to be able to not have to go play a gig because I need money. I want to have some sort of foundation where I had these businesses. So I built these businesses. I took 2-3 years off of DJing to build these businesses. And now during pandemic, those businesses have pretty much fed me through.
Right.
So now I know that if I want to make music for the rest of my life, I thank you. No tags, right?
Yeah, no tags. We need a sponsorship.
I knew that I don't want to work a 9 to 5 because I haven't worked a 9 to 5 in years, and I know that I needed some sort of income. So I think now, this year actually, I was putting out a bunch of music at the beginning of the year, getting ready to tour, and then COVID happened. But I do miss it. And it's something, playing and having fans and playing shows. It's a high that it's a feeling that's dope, and it's better when you can't describe it, and it's a good feeling when people know you and they like you. And you get to travel. I love traveling, bro. So getting to travel and getting paid to travel and just playing, doing your passion for like as a hobby for the rest of your life, and getting paid for it.
It's a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dream.
So now, being on the management side of things, how much time are you putting till producing still? Is it 50-50, or are you definitely prioritizing one?
Yeah, so I have a team. I have managers. I have like employees that work in the label and on the management team, management company. I do spend a lot of time on that, and I still produce. Produce is kind of like my producing is kind of like just my. I have fun. There's no rules when it comes to bass music. That's a beauty. There's no rules. I've made songs in 4 hours that have gone viral in on their platforms. And then I've spent a week on a song and it flops. Yeah. So it's very much it's your art. Just do what you feel. Don't care about what anyone else thinks. Just do it for you, and it's like it's liberating, bro. It's something that I want to be proud of when I'm like 80 and I could go back and listen to my own shit and know that I was self-taught and know that like I did all these things, and it's like yeah, it's like my own little like gallery.
If you're into bass music at all, like heavy shit, like you haven't listened to Scraps, like I'm not saying this because he's my friend and that he's like he has some really really dope shit, and it's crazy because like when we would go around, like when you were here a lot, like we would run into people, or like my own friends would be like, yo, like I'm a fan of you, I can't believe, and I'd be like, yo, what the fuck, like
That still trips me out. So I don't know. It's
yeah, like I'll have like friends who are like fanboying over you,
Really?
and I'm like,
That's
what the fuck, and I like they'd be like, yo, like I listen, like how did you make this, and I'm just like, what the fuck.
Yeah.
So everyone like definitely check out his stuff. He has insane music. Like I just don't. I've been in sessions with you. Like I've been to your studio or like been in studios with you, and like you'll just open shit up, and you just start playing, and I'm like, how? Like the sound design is like insane, and like how much shit do you have in the vault right now? If you could put a number on it.
A lot of just things that I should have released that I just never did. I have a lot of.
You show me mad like completely finished shit, and you're like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it's
out.
part of being an artist. You're your own biggest critic.
Right.
I have a lot of edits for like sets, to make myself sound different than everyone else. The EDM based music industry is very much on like how your set was. You know, you have an hour to play, an hour. Yeah, it's usually never really over an hour. Maybe if you're a headliner, you get like 2 hours.
Yep.
So it's very curated towards like specifically like where you're gonna play, like geographically. Like if you're like playing the East Coast, you may want to play more East Coast hip hop in your sets and make these edits or blends.
Yep.
If you're down south, it's more like dubsteppy. So you in your LA, it's more like, you know, maybe a little bit more commercial. It's, you know, every region has this thing, so it's very set driven on where you are. But as far as I have a bunch of stuff, I'm always working on music. I'm always just starting ideas.
Yeah.
That I got to really work on hard on finishing. But I got a lot going on as far as like running everything else. But music is like my escape, and that's something I'm gonna do till I die. Like God, you know, until my ears keep working, and hopefully I don't lose my hearing early. I'm gonna be doing this shit, and you're gonna be hearing my shit, and you're gonna and it's bass music. I started off as a Latin DJ. I caught the fucking bass EDM bug, and I'm kind of like transitioning to other shit now. Like I'm forever evolving and just making music.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make music for the rest of my life.
Yeah, every time you drop some shit, I'm like always super excited to hear. Like it's always fire. I still love the whipped cream. Remix.
Word.
When you drop, I was like, yo, I played that shit a lot. That shit was so fire. I love that remix you did. So
what's up with you? You're kind of getting into it, right?
It's a slow burn, man. Crazy on edits, like 200, 300 edits probably.
That's dope. That's
right
good,
now, and like I would say in a full club set, 75% of what I play is an edit that I made. You know what I mean?
And I heard the conversation on the podcast where Rico about like sharing or like DJ
I don't
AM
know.
mode.
Do you think I should just share them all?
I was one of those DJ AM guys.
Really?
Like, yeah, bro. Get out. Why are you looking at my shit?
I didn't know it was even a thing.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, I get it. It's just funny. I don't know.
I mean, share. I mean, obviously you can share your shit, but like, why would I give you something to make you sound like me?
Exactly.
I'm keeping my leverage.
That's what I'm saying.
And guys gotta stop being so sensitive, bro. Like this is an industry where we're all cool. You know, we all work together and shit. But you know,
it's like giving my competitor my ammo.
Yeah, it's like a chef giving another chef their recipe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was a funny conversation. I mean, they just dropped their edit pack. I have it.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. Check out their edit pack. A&G edits, I think. But check out Rico and Sticks from I think at this point it will be 2 episodes ago. Yeah, check that out. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I'm on Splice, got mad sample. Like, for me, I just really struggle with original, like just creating something original. And like I'll have an idea and, you know, I'll be on YouTube and trying to figure it out and it's been tough, but you know, I've gotten good at edits. Like people hit me up to make edits for them. Like,
are you on Ableton?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I actually need to talk to you because I can just do it right now.
We're talking now.
Yeah. Because, well, it's a funny favor that like so okay. So Ableton's super expensive.
Yeah.
So you were there when I cracked it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We were in a studio with I'll say his name. Fuck it. We're with Xander.
Yo,
And he has
Dude, I
tracks
was
now.
so high that day. Oh my God, bro.
But I cracked like he gave me his Ableton,
Word.
and I've been using it ever since. Right. I get a new computer, transferring everything over, and I didn't have the key, right, for Ableton. So obviously I hit up Xander, and I'm like, yo, bro, like, just got a new computer. You know what it is? Like, can I have the key? And he was like, yo, like, because he's used it on multiple. So like it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was maxed out in terms of things. Can I have your Ableton?
Yo, honestly, I've never paid for it.
You're the king of like finding ways.
Yeah, dude,
I need a key though.
Yeah, I can give you a website where you can just download it, a cracked version, and it'll just work forever.
Perfect.
No key, no nothing.
Perfect. Yeah, I need it because I've kept my old computer literally just to use Ableton now, which is a waste.
Actually, I'll hook you up with like a site where you can get like the splice shit for free. Like
the thing that annoys me about fucking Splice is like you can't pause it. Like say if I like close the membership, like you don't have access. Like because you know how the credits build like crazy. Like if I just have a month where I don't touch it, get mad credit, then I'm like. But then if I kill the membership, like I mean, it's smart. That's how they keep the money run.
Dude, I've never paid for sample packs. I've never paid for any software or plugins. Like I know places. I'm kind of like I've always been like this like techie into computers and shit, and I know how to like luckily I found places where all the shit that you pay for you get for free.
Yeah.
So
we definitely gotta talk off the record. But yeah, I need a new Ableton or Ableton key on my new computer, so I can sell my old computer. But anyway, so still Ableton, and I've definitely like from when I first opened it, obviously like definitely way better at it. I understand it more. I can make like I'm working on an intro for Ado or something. You know, I was able to make like 5 10-second beats. Like
how old are you?
Like how old am I?
Yeah,
I just turned 26.
Oh word. Yeah, I mean, you can learn it. It's all about like just doing it,
strapping down.
Yeah, it's like going to the gym, bro. It's like you.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking did it till my eyes bled, bro. Like honestly, I remember times where I always been very driven, and I think it was very anxiety driven to like get towards a goal or finish a song. Where like I remember my mom would come in and she'd like, get some coffee. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't sleep, and I'm just like going over like the sound and trying to finish a song. Like, okay, this is finished, and then like doing that and like just watching videos, constantly learning, and it is like going to the gym. And producing is easy if you have a good ear, if you know what's hot, and you have like you don't necessarily need to know music theory because I don't know music theory.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's what amazes me about it, because like I'll have the idea and I'm like, okay, if I have 2 different things, like if I'm like let's say I want to make a bass line to match like some synths I put down or some keys I put down, like you were saying earlier, like the technicality of it, they have to be in the same key or whatever. Right. Like they have to at least match. Use your ear. Like,
dude, I've made songs that are out of key that have been hits, like quote unquote hits. Like it worked.
Right.
And you know, like, and that's like that was early on.
Right.
And but as long as it sounds good, like the overall production, if it sounds good, someone will like it, and you just learn as you go. You know, and there's tools too. There's plugins that I remember I had a MIDI keyboard, and I put the key I with the sticky. I wrote them down on the keys,
right?
And I would like stick notes on like reminders. There's the Camelot wheel.
Yep.
That helps. So you don't necessarily know. I mean, if you know how to play the piano, you have an advantage.
Yeah,
you can write chords and you can go in.
Like I'm like trying to figure out like one chord.
But learning it it's not that hard. You can YouTube it.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's definitely something I need to try out. It's funny because someone you worked with in the past, Moses. Like I was talking to him.
Moses beast.
Moses is fire. Anytime he puts out an edit or an edit pack, I need it. Like he's so good, so talented. But I was talking to him once, and he was just like, "Yo, like you're like a good DJ," and I was like, "You're an insane producer." Like, and I said, "I wish I could be like that." And he literally like pauses, stares at me, and goes, "What? Why don't you?" And I was like,
"Bro, I remember."
And it was one of those things where I was like, "Fuck, why?"
Dude, I remember me and Moses and Danny Dise, another homie named Star Trek, where we would be in my small ass room on my like fucking cheap ass computer. Like just trying to finish songs, like we just learned as we went, and you can how shitty fucking these Bound 2 and all these, but it's the idea that matters, right? We had enough good taste where we were like, yo, this would sound good like this. We chop, and it was just chopping samples and moving it and learning as we go. So it's not the separation between what you know and what I know is not much. It's just that I've maybe gotten more comfortable with what I know, and for you is uncharted territory that you need to learn.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that Bound to Edit is probably one of your most like well known like I would say like DJ edits. Yeah. And it's funny how you always like every time I bring it up, you're like, oh my god, that shit's so shitty.
Bad.
It's so
bro.
bad.
It's so
but
bad.
yo, me being me, like I troll and hound for edit packs.
Yeah.
Like other people's that like it's funny, the guy who doesn't give them up, I look for everyone else's. I opened one yesterday that was an edit of your Bound to remix.
Oh really?
Like it was just like he just like I think extended the intros or whatever, did something like move things around.
Mm-hmm.
And I like laughed. Like I was like, I'm literally seeing him tomorrow. Like like that edit is everywhere. Like and people were playing that edit.
I think that hit on like DJ City. It hit like #1 on the like chart
everyone was
thing
playing
at that time. Yeah,
and it's true. Like what you're saying, like the taste of it, like production wise, it maybe wasn't A1, but the like what you doing in the club and like that's the part that everyone wanted, and that's what the edit had. You know what I'm saying?
And that's like the beauty. Like when you edit shit, you know, like. I mean, you could take little snippets and turn them into, you flip them into completely different things. So,
right.
I remember when we did that, twerk music was like big. And,
I kind of missed that era.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like people try.
It's coming back, bro. Like, I mean, it's
in a way,
it's, you know, and I think that being an open format DJ or urban DJ, you have a lot to play with, like a lot of vocals, a lot of, you know, moving things in certain areas, like a lot of shit that they do in DJ City where they do like those slam intros where it goes straight into the hype part or the acapella outs or things like that.
I go crazy with acapella ins and outs like that.
But I feel like anyone can have that, but not anyone knows when to play it or how to play it or you know, the guys that are doing those things are creative and they're making tools for DJs, and I feel like the creators of that are creating, you know, tools for other guys, and I feel like if you have that, you know, kind of that gift, you should, you know, just keep doing it. And it's not that hard, bro. It's really not that hard.
No, I get it. It's something I need to strap down and work on. I also say that about scratching. I'm trying to get better at scratching.
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm okay. I respect to like other guys that kill it, bro.
So like when I had Sticks, like I've been hitting. I'm trying to get sessions with Sticks, and like I'm like, yo, make me good. Like so, I think I'm gonna see him on Wednesday. I think. And
that's another muscle. That's like teaching your hands how to like muscle memory.
So I can do it on my right. It's my left that like I tried doing it and it doesn't connect. You know what I mean? So that's something another thing I want to strap down. Yeah. Really get on it.
It's discipline, bro. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah. What's next for you? How's the future looking?
Good. I mean, prior to COVID, I was planning on going back on tour. As of now, like I said, I'm here for a little bit. Then I'm gonna go to Mexico and meet some. Do you want me to look? Oh, sorry. I thought you were waving at me. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go there and meet with these artists and just expanding. I mean, I'm quiet on social media.
Yeah.
I try not to like consume too much from other people's what they're doing. I try to like just create and post instead of like being influenced by like what someone else is doing. I was becoming very affected by that a few years ago, where I was like judging myself based on what other people were doing, and I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna get off of social media and just work on creating shit that I can put out to the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Ado's on one today.
Now, besides that, bro, just I mean, I'm glad I'm here. Any DJs that are listening, that if you need any help with anything, hit me up. If you need help, like with just guidance or figuring your shit out during COVID, let me know. I mean, that's kind of what I do on a day. I consult with guys and just help them out.
Where can they find you? Where can they hit you up?
You can hit me up on Instagram at Scrap. It's SCRVP. A's upside down V. Mm-hmm. Hit me up there. I'm responsive. I mean, I post every once in a while, but I'm just like behind the scenes working, bro. Like, I'm writing a book.
What?
Yeah. I forgot to mention that.
You see this, dude?
Yeah.
You see? Hold on. Let me, before we go into you and your fucking novel. You see the guests I come up with, Ado. You see my guests, bro. I get good guests. The content is crazy. Get me a sponsor. Everyone like and review. Share this bitch right now. Look at Scrap is writing a book.
Yeah, I think a future goal. One of my goals when I first started producing, I was like, I wanted to win a Grammy, and that's still kind of a goal down the line. But I want to write a book. I'm trying to like get a bestseller somehow, and based on my experience, it's very personal.
Is it a is it a novel or is it like a?
No, it's gonna be like a short book. I mean, I'm writing it. I'm working on it. On the stories, it's very much just kind of what I went through. The book is gonna be called Hi, I'm Scrap, but like Hi is spelled HIHAI, which stands for Health, Awareness, and Independence, and that is kind of what I felt like was like what helped me get to the point where I am now, was becoming healthy, being aware of who I am, what's going on with me and my surroundings, and then independence is building up my own, so I can stand on my own 2 feet and not have to depend on anyone else. So it's my journey that I feel like other artists can take this, whether you're a DJ or any type of artist, you can use these tools, kind of this like formula, or just like this basis off of how you can see your career and, you know, kind of like develop and help you.
Yeah, that sounds fucking amazing. Is there like a timeline on that right now, or you're just in the early stages?
I'm learning how to write a book. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
You know, just writing stories, ideas down, you know, kind of going back and, you know, a lot of scenarios that I've had, kind of like what I spoke about, the industry stuff. And no, I mean, time frame, I'm not sure, but it's in the works.
But when it gets there, it gets there. And you have obviously the support from all of us.
Word, yeah, appreciate it.
You see my guest, yo? Like I'm not getting Joe Schmo from around the way. You know what I'm saying? Accomplished people. Share this shit. Come on, people. Let's go. Let me get a sponsor in this bitch.
Get your shit on YouTube.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're gonna get visuals, more visuals than we have. Shout out Phil. We got the highlights that we post on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, please. We're gonna start moving this shit onto YouTube eventually. You know, we have an audience. You know, we hit that 1K-er. You know what I'm saying? Get me to 5.
Word.
And we're gonna keep it moving. This was amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me,
the conversations were amazing. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you just as a
Likewise,
homie.
Man. Likewise.
And yeah, I mean, I want to say that you flew here for this podcast. I know you're here for family and business and everything, but
I wanted to be on.
No, we were gonna do this on Zoom.
I was like, no, we can't do this on Zoom.
Yeah, and this came out awesome. I'm super happy with this. Super happy for you and everything that you're doing.
Appreciate it,
You continue to inspire me, and every time we talk, you know, I'm like, fuck, like I need to do more.
Yeah,
like I'm just listening. I'm just saying, I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. Like I need to do more.
Bro, and whoever's listening, I believe that Snacks can put if you know, and I don't want to say like, oh, he's the best DJ, but he could potentially be the top best DJ in the city if you get your shit together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm working. No, hey, that's what I need to hear, and that's the shit I want. That's the shit I need to hear, and I appreciate that.
Sure.
And I'm working on it. I'm gonna do, you know, like I said, with scratching and producing. Like I want to do more to get to the next level, and you know, you know, we're always our own worst critics, best critics, worst critics. You know what I mean? So always the grind. Huge inspiration as always to me. I hope the listeners, I hope they all hit you up.
Appreciate it, yeah.
And good luck with everything that you're doing. Anything else you want to shout out or mention? Are you gonna fly a plane? Like I don't know. Like are you a pilot now? Are you gonna?
Nah, but
if it's gonna be, are you a dad? Like I don't know.
No kids yet. No. Just for any artists, any DJs, treat your craft like an art. Treat your gift like an art. And just grind and do it for the right reasons, then it'll work out. I guarantee it'll work out if you do it for the right reasons and you just fucking grind. Absolutely. And you surround yourself with the right people and seek guidance and all that shit. It'll work out
for sure.
No matter what industry you're in, as long as art, treat your shit like art. Don't let anyone step on your art. Don't let anyone judge your art for you. It's like do you and fucking just grind and live your dreams.
Wise words. Everybody follow Scrap. SCRVP everywhere.
Stay tuned for that Bajo Mundo party.
Yo, Bajo Mundo underground warehouse party. It's gonna be popping.
I'll throw a party and then fly out and
exactly. Not deal with it.
Yeah.
As always, follow us on Instagram at But I Know the DJ. Follow Dope Entertainment Official on Instagram. Follow me, your beautiful host, at Gimme Snacks. Share the fucking podcast.
Yes.
Like the fucking podcast. If you're on Apple Music or Apple Podcast, whatever, write a review. Even if it's like, you can just talk a bunch of shit. Just give me like 5 stars or whatever.
Talk shit.
Like
If promoters, you're mad. Talk shit about me. And
yeah.
review it.
If you
those comments.
if you disagree with anything anyone said, just kind of write a comment about like just get the engagement up, people. Come on, send this to your ex. Be like, yo, you can learn some shit from these people. Like, come on, guys, let's build this shit, yo. Let's get this popping. Let me get a sponsor, man. Come on. Thank you so much for listening to episode 10. This was amazing times, amazing guest, and more to come. I got guests, yo. My guests, high quality content. But hit us up.
Damn, Snacks needs we gotta stop telling him how shitty he is from now.
My head, right?
We gassed you up for all of 2021, bro.
No.
That's it.
I'm lonely, guys. I'm lonely. But thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next time. Snacks out, scrap out. Holla at us.